What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Boom! Welcome to my summer movie wrap-up. I've seen close to 50 movies this year. Thank you, MoviePass. I have talked about almost all of the movies that I've gone out to see, and I've listed them, and I'm going through my top 10. I'm going to throw out some honorable mentions, and then also throw out a couple of the worst movies I've seen so far this year. So starting off number 10, it's a movie that gave me the feeling of John Wick. Felt like I was being told a story from the John Wick universe, being introduced the origin story of this new character, potentially. I don't know if the movie had anything to do with John Wick, but Hotel Artemis was my number 10 of my top 10 list. It's a hospital for criminals. So it feels very much in the John Wick. It has some awesome action scenes. John Batista's in it. My favorite wrestler turned actor. Aside from The Rock, I mean, nothing else should be said of The Rock, although I don't think he made my top 10 list with the 30 movies that he's come out with so far. But Hotel Artemis, check it out. I'm sure it's been out on VOD for some time now. But if you're a fan of John Wick, I would highly recommend it. You'll probably like it. The next one is a documentary. I think potentially the only documentary I have on the list. 3 Identical Strangers comes in at my number 9. This is a crazy documentary. Just the premise. Just watch the trailer, the premise, the starting off point for this documentary, where this kid is going to college for the first time, and everybody seems to know who he is. They're calling him by not his name, but they act like they know him, and he runs into a guy that realizes that he is a twin because he was adopted, and then come to find out that not only is he a twin, but there's 3 triplets that were all adopted. And the documentary starts there and scratches the surface. And once it scratches the surface, it goes down some darkness of some things that were happening back in the day that we're still going to have to wait for the real answers. But it's an amazing documentary. It is super interesting, super original. I enjoyed it. 3 Identical Strangers. Check it out if it is available wherever you get your movies. Number 8 is a horror movie, possibly the only horror movie. There's a couple, well-rated horror movies. For sure, there's movies that I've forgotten. But A Quiet Place comes in at number 8 for me. It is a horror movie, suspense movie that did something amazing in a movie theater. It got everybody to be quiet because it is a very quiet film. Like, even people chewing popcorn chewed it quietly because they respected the movie. And it was an amazing thing. It was an amazing thing for somebody that goes to movies out here and everybody is talking, whether they're just a rich old person that's retired and doesn't give a fuck about humanity, talking throughout the whole thing, or if it's just some teenagers going to see a movie after school and they're talking shit. There's always seems to be people talking out here, and that was a movie that shut people up. And it was crazy. It was just a crazy premise. Interesting seeing the dude from The Office in more of a dramatic, intense role. Looking forward to his show on Amazon, the Clear and Present Danger show, whatever the fuck that character is. But A Quiet Place comes in at number 8. Number 7, American Animals is my number 7. It is really interesting, really originally. It's kind of like a documentary hybrid because it has interviews with people that the movie was based on. It's about these 4 kids, I think, 3 or 4 kids that conspire to steal a piece of artwork from their school in an effort to do something amazing, to get famous, so their art career could take off. And it's a super interesting movie. They have the actual people in the movie, kind of, but then they're also interviewed and we see reenactments. It's basically a documentary with amazing acting for the reenactments. But it's a great movie. Go watch it. American Animals, number 7. Number 6, I watched last night. Didn't get to see it in theaters. Kind of heard some good things about it. It looked interesting. Upgrade, a movie where a guy gets shot and paralyzed due to the gunshot wound, and it's set in the future, science fiction movie, and they have, which is probably months away from having this capability, but they have this new implant that's going to allow him to full access of his body, and amazing things he's able to do now that he has this computer chip embedded in him. And action movie, amazing action scenes, so much fun. The camera movement's amazing. I'm going to do a whole episode on it later this week, but check it out. Upgrade. So it's just super entertaining. It's almost like Hardcore Henry, how original, like, first-person action kind of parkour kind of movie had feelings of that, and then just I loved it. Go check it out. Upgrade, number 6. It knocked off a movie, and I'll tell you what movie later. Number 5, Sorry to Bother You. I had talked about it. It's just a crazy, surreal comedy. Highly recommend. Tonally, there's some other movies that I think did a little bit better job. But coming in my top 5, rounding out my top 5 is Sorry to Bother You. Highly recommend it. It's one of those obscure movies that just a lot. It's just going to be. It's so crazy. It's a crazy movie. Go watch it. Number 4, Mission Impossible Fallout. Just top to bottom, fun action movie. One of the best action franchises, best spy movie franchise. The second one was the worst one, and it's still entertaining. John Woo still knows how to make a fun action movie. But from 3 on have been amazing. So Mission Impossible Fallout comes in at number 4. Number 3, the movie Spike Lee did with the feelings of the Coen brothers, The Black Klansman, or just Black Klansman. Such a great movie. Reviewed it earlier. Probably my favorite Spike Lee movie by far. Such a great movie, coming in at number 3. Number 2 was number 1 for a while, but I knocked it down to number 2. Has so much heart. It gave me so much feels. It's such well-made movie by Bo Burnham. It's a directorial debut. Interested to see what else he does. But the movie's 8th Grade, coming in at number 2. Go watch it. It's great. It's about a girl in 8th grade, in the 90s. No, in current time, I think. Yes, current time. Number 1, so far my favorite movie of the year, Blind Spotting. It's a comedy. It's a drama. It's got tension. It's got everything. It's a director that knows exactly what to do in a film to make you feel a certain way, and he cranks it to different gradients and different tones throughout the movie. It's so good. I highly recommend everybody check it out when it comes out on VOD, but it's my number 1 movie of the year so far. This could change by the end of the year, but I doubt it. I don't know. I may readjust stuff. Who knows? Blind Spotting coming in at number 1 for the year. Some honorable mentions, of course, Black Panther, Avengers, Game Night was a lot of fun, Tag, Solo, Deadpool 2, Super Troopers 2. I wanted to go with original stuff that impacted me. And the worst movies, by far, Wrinkle in Time and Life of the Party. Hated those movies. Horrible. Wrinkle in Time, by far, the worst. Worst movie I've ever seen. And the movie that got knocked off by Upgrade was the Happy Time Murders. It was a lot of fun, but when I thought about it, couldn't keep it on the top 10. So that's it, everybody. Have a great week. Check out my website, inspireddisorder.com. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes making-of content, patreon.com/inspireddisorder. All links up top. Have a great day. Have a great week. Peace out!